Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. So I wanted to react to Reem Alsalem speaking at the UN Human Rights Council. This was a woman commissioned by the UN to write a report into women's sports, the integrity of the female category and violence against women. And she pointed out that almost 900 medals had been lost to male athletes in the women's category across various sports. And she specifically called out the IOC and said that they were allowing violence against women to continue by not protecting the female category. We saw just last year how 2 male boxers won gold medals in the women's category, or even worse, were punching women in the face. We know that male athletes can punch at least twice as hard as a woman. And we know that when men are allowed into the women's category to compete against women, women are more likely to get injured and more likely to get severely injured. So it is a matter of life and death. It is a matter of safety in women's sports. And her report really brought it home and really highlighted the importance of bringing back cheek swabs, those measures that need to be put in place to ensure whether one is male or female, XX or XY chromosomes. And that sports has to be categorized based on that, not gender identity or how somebody feels. No one with XY chromosomes should be competing in the women's category. It's as simple as that.
Let me be frank. I never imagined the day would come where my mandate would deem it necessary to prepare a report affirming that the words women and girls refer to distinct biological and legal categories.
Yeah, a lot of us can't believe we're even here debating the meaning of the word woman and girls. I mean, that is a debate that has gone on for years. And even today, it's like a litmus test. What's a woman?
What is a woman? What is a woman is the question.
I'm not sure I understand the question here.
Well, that.
What
Okay.
do you want me to say? This is.
I want you to say that a woman like me is an adult human female, that men can't become women. You guys are the party of violence, and you're the party erasing women. You don't respect us. You're a bigot. You're a misogynist. You're a sexist. Mr. Chairman, I yield back.
If somebody can't answer that with a straight answer, they're the problem.
And that their female sex is central, not only to the definition as categories of humans, but also central to the understanding of the discrimination and violence that they experience as subordinated classes.
Wow. Exactly. How can we begin to even address the issue of violence against women, the issue of discrimination against women, when we can't even define what a woman is? That definition has to be based on sex. That is the simplest way to define what a woman is. If it's not based on biological fact, then there is no definition. It's open to interpretation. And of course, certain activists love that. That's exactly what they wanted, even to the extent where they were perfectly happy to erase women.
The consequences of this blatant disregard of the material reality of sex have been devastating. The erosion of women and sex-specific language, the conflation of sex, gender, and gender identity have produced flawed data, overall weakened protections for motherhood, women and girls, including lesbians, as well as women who do not identify as women, and girls who may be experiencing gender dysphoria.
Wow, yeah. Even the women who identify as men, who want to be acknowledged or seen as men, they don't even get a good end of the deal either. When it comes to sports, no one seems to care about their inclusion. It's not possible for them to compete with men for the most part, but no one cares about that. You don't hear them trying to get women into the men's category somehow. They couldn't care less. It's always about the desires of men, of entitled male athletes for some reason. And we've had men imposing themselves onto apps that are exclusively for women, for females. We've seen the result of that. What's going on with the Tickle v. Giggle case. We have men who will take women to court for not being allowed into a woman's space, a female-only space. women getting harassed just for saying that my space is for females, like gyms. We saw what happened to Natalie B Fitness, who has now opened a beautiful, beautiful gym in South London. But she was attacked just for acknowledging that for some women, in order to work out and to feel safe and to feel secure, they need the option of having a women-only gym that isn't open to men on the basis of identity. Being a female has to count for something. It has to count for something. We can't just override that and say that it's all about identity now. Because as Reem rightly pointed out here, that infringes upon the rights of women in all walks of life. And I thought we had moved away from that. I thought we acknowledged that discrimination is wrong.
It has also obscured the correct understanding of current and emerging forms of violence against women and girls, and exposed women and girls to more violence, and undermined our ability to provide targeted and relevant services and assistance to all victims.
We have crisis centres, homeless shelters being infringed upon by men. Breastfeeding support groups have now been opened to men to do what? I do not know. In the name of gender identity, we've allowed violence against women in the name of gender identity, violence and the abuse of children.
Simply put, you cannot protect what you cannot define.
Wow. Very, very well said there. You cannot protect what you cannot define. And to think otherwise, or to act like it's possible to continue to protect women while also throwing away the definition of a woman, is just absolutely delusional. And it's the women who are the most vulnerable, not the men who identify as women or who want to be accepted as women. That's another lie that's been pushed. Trust the science completely went out the window when it came to this, when it came to gender ideology. Good for Reem for continuing to stand up for women and girls. Thank you. Words should not be redefined to appease activists. It harms the entire society. Statistics have been completely skewed because of gender ideology. Crimes that have nothing to do with women have been attributed to women. Prisons. I could go on. Some of the stories I've covered about what's gone on in women's prisons due to gender ideology. Literally letting male predators into the women's prison to share cells with women. Thank goodness for Reem Alsalem. She could be the only normal and totally sane person at the UN. Reem Alsalem should receive a prize for her work in just speaking the truth over and over again on behalf of women everywhere. She is a total heroine. It's very brave of her to go into the UN and to speak nothing but facts and to call out anybody who thinks that gender ideology comes before biological sex. And the fact is, you cannot protect what you cannot define. So let me know what you think. Thanks for watching. Like, comment and subscribe. Take care of yourselves, and God willing, I will see you in the next video.